All right, let's go to Kyler in Layton. What's up, Kyler?
Hey, Dr. John, how's it going?
Good, man. What's up?
Oh, I'll start with my question, and then I'll provide some backstory after that. So my wife and I, we've been married for about 5 months, and we're in the process of adopting my 2-year-old nephew. My question is,
because why not? Why not?
Why wouldn't we, right? Why wouldn't we just pile on?
Well, just say so. When somebody says we're adopting our nephew, here's what that says to me: family is a train wreck. It's a mess. We got picked, or we stepped in and said we're dealing with this, and if you put that on top of we've been married 5 months. This is incredible. Go ahead, keep going. Am I right?
Pretty much. I've got one side of the family that is a little more dysfunctional than the other, but
don't we all? That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
So my question is how do we set effective boundaries for not only the biological parents, but also for the rest of the family?
Okay.
And this all kind of spearheaded about a couple weeks ago. We made the decision that we want to change this child's name. He's named after my brother. We feel like that name was it's mounted in trauma. He hasn't had a great start to his life, and we want to start a new chapter. And that part of that is his name for us.
Okay.
So my other brother got involved. I have 2 older brothers. The middle one is the biological father, and then my oldest one, I sort of feel like they're ganging up on me and my wife. Feel like I'm disrespecting the biological father by changing the name. And everyone seems to have this opinion, and to be quite frank, Dr. John, I don't care for anyone's opinion. I'm just trying to survive.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to do the best that I can.
Let's be 100% candid. That you are disrespecting your older brother. I'm not suggesting he doesn't deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at him saying, I'm taking your son from you because you can't handle this child, or you're abusing this child. This child's not safe with you, so I'm going to become this child's new dad. And I don't even want him. He's not, your name isn't even worthy of this kid, so I'm taking it off. Like, yeah, that's a slap in the face to anybody's kid.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying he doesn't have the right to be hurt or anything like that. I feel like I've done research. I've talked to people who have been both adopted and have gone through the adoption process. Mm-hmm. The caseworkers have told me it might be a good idea to start with. I don't feel like this was just I hate my brother kind of a thing. I love my brother.
I don't think that at all. Here's what I think. I think you haven't fully thought through what. Let me say it this way: by adopting this kid, you are opting out of the family as it normally operates.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you fully absorbed that yet or metabolized that. Your family cannot and will not function as it once did. And I think what you're doing is noble and the right thing. Just the way family was done before is over. And your middle brother, the father of this child, feels like they got a loophole, which is they're going to have access to their kid and still be the dad, but they don't have to do any of the dad work. And so if you're going to truly be the parent and guardian of this kid, there's going to have to be some space and distance between biological dad. Also knowing that in our current world, there is no way to deny access forever. At some point, right, that little boy wants to know who my dad really is and why am I not with my dad? What was so bad about me that dad left me?
Right.
And so here's what I'm trying to take the romance out of this. This is going to be hard.
Right.
And everybody's going to have to act like an adult. I hate that your oldest brother isn't, who didn't step up and offer to take this kid. I'm sad that he thinks he can armchair quarterback this deal.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate that for you. So do y'all all live together? Do y'all live by each other?
My two brothers, they live in Salt Lake. They live right near each other, so we're probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes away. And then
Okay.
my wife and I live a little further north. But
Okay. It may be considering that Utah's not for you guys for a while.
okay.
And I'm thinking through. All I'm doing. I don't have any data or any sort of research to back this up. I'm just trying to put myself exactly in your position, what I would do. Like you're talking about changing his name. That tells me that there are some deep reasons that we are cutting ties.
Right.
And so you can't cut some of the ties and hope the rest of the ties just untangle themselves. It's just not how they work. What do your parents think about all this?
My dad, he is a recovering addict, so he's kind of in and out of jail, but
Okay.
He's been sober lately, and he is a great...
I'm just going to stop you right there. Like, he didn't get a vote. And I don't say that mean, but he's sober right now, so he gets to be dad for a few months while he's clean. That's just not how that works. He can't toggle in and out. You're a guy that's been on your own for a long time, aren't you?
I've had a great mom. She's been a single mom, and she's amazing.
Okay.
But I am kind of the caretaker of the family.
All right. So you made a bold move. And again, the words I'm using can be taken either way. I'm taking this as a good thing. You made a bold and brave move. You can't care for this child. I will. Did the court take him away, or did your brother surrender him to you?
The court took him away, and then he eventually, after a couple of months, he was going through the parenting plan and not kind of doing what he needed to be doing, and he then signed him over to us.
Okay.
But, I mean, that was with an agreement. I didn't take his child. That was never the intention, and we had many conversations beforehand, like what this would look like.
Is he an addict?
I think he has a marijuana problem.
Okay.
I don't know if he does anything else. My oldest brother and I grew up with my mom, and then he kind of grew up in many different households because he was living with my dad.
Okay. All right.
So he had a little bit tougher upbringing.
Let me back out because I'm going down a rabbit hole here. Let me back out a little bit.
Okay.
I would be willing to bet that you and your wife had your own independent pictures of what parenthood was going to look like.
Oh, yeah.
And that you and your wife also had very clear pictures of what your first couple of years of marriage was going to be like. Dude, y'all were going to be doing it all the time. And wherever, it doesn't matter. And y'all were going to go on vacations and do cool stuff and pay off your debts. Y'all going to do all kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's going to look different already out of the gate. And where I see couples get sideways is they go do a unified thing together, but the way it was going to look and feel while they were doing this thing, they miss each other.
Right.
And so you and your wife have to constantly stay connected. This week looks different. How do you want this to look? Last week looked different. How do you want this upcoming one to look? Y'all got to stay really plugged in together on this.
We're really trying. We do what you recommend kind of every Sunday morning. We sit down, we have breakfast, we talk about how the week's going.
Good. Oh, it's so good, dude. Is that helping?
It's helping so much.
Yes.
We went through a bit of a rough patch. We were pretty stressed in the beginning. I say in the beginning, we've only been married for 5 months, so I guess this is the beginning. But
dude, if you've already figured it out after 5 months, you win. Write that book. You'll be rich. Write that book.
We're trying to.
Yeah, this little boy's life can only be as good as you and your wife are connected.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a controversial statement. I don't care.
I agree 100%. And we do, I mean, my mom and my wife's mom are very good about watching him so we can go on date nights.
Great. Awesome.
Once a week, we try to do that.
Awesome.
We're trying to keep our lives, we're 22 and 24, so we're still trying to be young but fun. But parents.
Can I tell you, like, of all the things, like everything you're doing is noble, and it's going to be hard and it's going to be messy, and it sounds like you don't know what's coming, but you know something hard's coming, and you're stepping in that gap anyway, which is awesome. I can't get my head around changing that little boy's name. Tell me about that. It feels like it feels like an immature attempt to erase something that you can't erase.
That might be true. Like I said, I'm 22 and I'm not, and we haven't done anything yet. And if people are speaking into my life that I trust are saying don't do it, then it would be something we would reconsider. But what it comes down to is this little boy has been neglected. He was taken from his home for 32 days. My brother really let him down. And it breaks my heart to hear that name called to he's my son, Dr. John. It breaks my heart to see that name or hear that name associated with with what I consider a new baby. He's new. And it's not that I want to erase my brother, and it's not that he won't know at a very, very young age that he was adopted and this was a situation and your dad loves you and this is who he is. It's not that we want to keep him from him. It's just that I think this baby deserves a new beginning. And this is kind of the way I thought it might be a good idea.
It sounds like the baby's not the one that needs a new beginning. It sounds like you do.
Can you elaborate on that?
You're the one that can't stand to hear that name, not him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true.
Here's the deal. I don't have any skin in that game. I don't have any skin in that game. If the people in your life who have kids who are speaking into your life, the mentors you have, and I would ask non-family mentors. Okay. I don't know what your faith background is. I don't know what your cultural background is. I don't know any of those things that would lend itself to the power and importance of a name. So I don't feel good about speaking into it other than to say this feels a lot more about you than it does this kid. And I want you to make sure you never use your kid to make you feel better about yourself or ever do things with this kid so that you feel better about fill in the blank. And if you can learn this lesson at 22, at 23, at 25, you will be so far ahead of other dads, me included. But this little boy will know this for his entire life, that half of me is my mom and half of me is my dad. And the demon, when dads leave their kids or dads choose to or are unable to, I'll say it that way, keep their kids, is that kid asks forever, is half of me bad too? Is half of me capable of leaving too? And so your love and your connection is going to be a lifeline to this kid. On top of that question, underneath that question, to the side of that question that will haunt him for a lot of his life. And I don't know. I have to think about that one. I've never heard that in my whole life. Somebody saying I'm adopting somebody in my family and I'm changing the name because this kid is better than your name. Ask some people in your community, in your cultural background, in your faith community, the wisdom on that. Just check yourself. Is this new name a new start for this baby, or is this new name a start for me? And when it comes to your wife, man, you are on the path. Just continue to check in and create a culture that when she says, I need this, or I'm scared about this, or I have a gut feeling that so-and-so is going to show up and try to take this kid tonight, or so-and-so gets drunk and I don't want him around my kid, that you are able to go, I hear you. Let's see if we can make this happen. And vice versa, that y'all are constantly working through that. It's going to be a rough go. No question. It's going to be a rough go. Sounds like y'all are the right folks to do it. Being as young as you are and as newlywed as you are, surround yourself with mature couples who are 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the road from you, and make sure you've got people that you trust that you can ask wise counsel from. Thank you so much for being a guy that steps up in his community, my man. You're a blessing.